All right, right now we are chatting with an entrepreneur, filmmaker, and podcast host.
Yes, he launched The Back Room with Andy Ostroy and now has a new podcast. It's called Jewtoo. So please welcome back to the PIX11 Morning News, Andy Ostroy. Great to see you.
Likewise.
Okay, let's get into this because we've talked to you before in the past about some of the things you're working on, but you have this new podcast called Jewtoo. What's that all about?
Well, I have two co-hosts, Maddie Rosenberg and Jen Hammoud, three of us, three neurotic Jews, and we decided that it would be fun to sit with, in particular, non-Jews and sort of compare and contrast the customs and cliches and traditions and the neuroses, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
Who are some of the guests that you've brought on the show?
We've had George Hahn, we've had S.E. Cupp, we've had Saverio Guerra, Mocha Joe from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and our latest just dropped this morning with comedian John Fugelsang.
Okay, so when you say some of the neuroses, take us in some of the things that you experience and that they experience.
Right. Guilt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Stomach issues. All related.
Yeah, it's like an Italian.
Just, Jewish mothers versus waspy mothers, Jewish mothers versus Italian mothers. The episode with Saverio Guerra was contrasting growing up Jewish in New York with growing up Italian in Brooklyn. And so...
But there are similarities.
More than you think.
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat timely, too, with what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, what we wanted to do is take a secular look and have some fun with religion, because religion can be so divisive, especially now, and we're sort of putting the fun back in religion.
Yeah.
Where can people find that?
Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we were talking about your other podcast. I mean, some of the guests that you've had, we were looking at this laundry list here. Juliana Margulies, Michelle Williams, Hillary Burton, Judd Apatow. You had Phineas, Matt Friend, who is a friend of ours.
We love Matt.
I mean, so many folks.
He's the best.
Any of them made you a little nervous, or were you just kind of like, this is...
Well, the truth is, there's a healthy dose of nervousness before every interview. And it's all, it's good because it's channeled positively. So it's never, I'm never scared once we start talking, and actually once we start talking, it's literally just like two people sitting around in a coffee shop chatting.
Do we scare you?
Maybe like you guys.
Yeah, right. We're very
I'm terrified.
Scared.
We're so scary.
We're so threatening. But the back room, tell us a little bit about the whole idea of what you hope to accomplish with that podcast, because it's been around for a bit.
Well, it's people who are in the news, whether they're politicians, media personalities, actors, filmmakers. We've had Dawn Porter, Alexandra Pelosi, Ken Burns, just people from all walks of life who are doing really interesting things. And we not only like to talk about what they're doing now, but we peel the onion back and we go back to childhood to see if there's connective tissue to what kind of kids they were versus who they are and what they do when they grow up.
Wow, I mean, that is such a huge group that you've already had on. So do you have like a dream guest that you would love to have on the show?
Yeah, I've got, if you guys are listening, Paul McCartney.
Wow, yeah.
Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. There's quite a few. Those would be the top three.
Wow, those are good ones.
That's it. But did you hear about that new Beatles movie, by the way?
Yes.
Each Beatles.
There's a couple of Beatles projects.
Well, there's the one that each one of them get their own film.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, sorry, that's a whole different topic.
Well, I'm a huge Beatles fan, so I'll be watching that.
There you go. Unrelated to the podcast, though, you have a candy store, which we love. We featured it, actually, in one of our getaway series.
Great.
So how'd you kind of go from the whole world of being so interested in what people have to say to candy?
Well, I have a house up there where the store is, and friends with Paul and Julie Rudd and Jeffrey Dean Morgan and his wife Hillary Burton, and Jeff and Hillary in particular were friends with the owner of the store who died suddenly. So there were some challenges about maybe keeping it open with the people who were inheriting it, and we all just decided to get involved.
And you brought no candy today?
I did not bring candy today. And John Traver, who's our manager, who's been there since he's 15, is also one of our partners.
Wow. Has it been fun?
It's the happiest place on earth.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well,
so tell me where it is.
Rhinebeck, New York.
Yeah,
and it's
Rhinebeck's
SamuelSweetShop.com. And it truly is the happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
Nobody is sad in that store.
Well, we're going to have to stop by and get that. But again, remind folks where they can listen to your podcast.
Anywhere you get the podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Apple, all the typical places.
All right.
Good stuff. You're going to have to come back when you get
Next time I'll bring candy.
I was going to say.
And bring Barack and Michelle.
And Paul. You want to talk to Paul?
Oh, yeah, and Paul.
Everybody wants Paul.
Just bring everybody. Just come on. The couch will just get
You have a big enough couch.
We'll add a couple of sections.
There we go.
Good to have you here, Andy.
Thank you.